Hi, my name is Stephen Graham, and my line of work is in behavior modification. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I help people to overcome fears, phobias, self-sabotaging beliefs and actions, or whatever someone wants for self-improvement. It might be to build confidence, self-esteem, positivity, or simply to lower stress. I'm also the founder and owner of HypnoLux Hypnotherapy. What I'd like to do right now is to show you a picture to explain what hypnosis is and how your conscious and subconscious mind work. We call this diagram the theory of mind. Right now you see many things contained within the circle representing your mind, but when we're born we have just the primitive mind, which you see at the bottom of the circle. And within the primitive mind is a very basic instinct for survival called a fight response and a flight response. Both of these survival mechanisms are usually triggered by an external event. The fight response is triggered when we perceive a threat. In many cases today, it's simply how we respond to the stress and overload of everyday living. And for whatever reason, we feel the need to stand our ground and deal with it. So we've chosen the fight response in this case. On the other hand, the flight response comes into play when we do not feel the need to stand our ground, but instead, we choose to remove ourselves from the threat or annoyance. Maybe we really want to just escape to a deserted island and get away from it all. That's the flight response. Now, from the time we're born until we're about 8 years old, we're very, very suggestible. So much so that everything we experience and everything we're told goes directly into our subconscious mind unchallenged and is totally accepted as truth. Our mind at that age is a lot like a kid with a computer, just downloading everything in sight with no regard for safety. We don't know any better, and it goes straight onto our hard drive, so to speak. Occasionally there are damaging viruses that accompany some of those programs, and those viruses will affect us in the way of our behavior, our outlook, and our relations to others later on. But at that early age from 0 to 8, we simply cannot discern the useful from the destructive, so everything is registered and saved. This is one of the reasons why it's vital to watch our words and be very careful with what we say to children, especially before the age of 8. If we call a child stupid or useless, that is exactly what gets believed and registers in their impressionable mind as the absolute truth. In the years to come, that programming will remain and work against them. This is only one example of what may cause a learning disorder or behavioral issue later in life. How we learn is by identification and association. And it's through this process of assimilating everything that comes our way that we develop positive and negative known associations, as you see in the area of the subconscious mind with the pluses and minuses. These are learned associations, and they're either positive or negative. Not good or bad, simply positive or negative. Before the age of 8, we may not be able to discern much or judge the validity of situations, events, or the words people tell us, even our parents' words, but we do know what we like. We know from the beginning that we like hugs and kisses. These are positive associations. But we don't like a spanking. That's definitely a negative association. We know that we like ice cream, but maybe we don't like spinach. We've learned that puppies are fun, but that cat scratched me when I tried to pick her up by the tail. So in these cases, a cat and spinach became negative associations, while hugs, kisses, ice cream, and puppies became positive ones. Our subconscious mind, where these known associations exist, make up 88% of our total mind. As we reach the age of 8, a partition called the critical mind begins to form, which acts like a filter between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. It's a lot like a gatekeeper, security guard, or bouncer. This critical mind filter begins to protect the subconscious mind. And this happens as we develop logic, analyzation skills, and willpower, along with decision-making and reasoning capabilities. And now we're able to filter most things that come our way. Sometimes we get fooled and a negative program gets accepted despite our filter. But it will never be like before when everything was able to enter our subconscious mind unchallenged. As the subconscious mind gets partitioned off by the critical mind, we can now see a clear distinction between the two parts of the mind. We have the subconscious mind, which is 88% of the whole, and we have the conscious mind, which is just 12% of the whole. So now I'll explain how this all ties together and works for us. When you make a conscious decision to change something in your life, like one of those damaging programs that got downloaded earlier, this is what happens. And it might even be a much newer program like smoking that you want to delete from your database, so let's use that example. The thought, I want to quit smoking, forms in your conscious mind, the 12% part of your mind. That thought arrives at your critical mind or security guard, and the message gets carried down to your known associations deep within your subconscious. And you know what comes back up from down there? Quit smoking? Are you kidding? I like smoking. It relaxes me and makes me feel good. I enjoy it. No, not going to quit. The old smoking program exists down in your subconscious mind as a positive association and all the feelings that went with it. So your gatekeeper says, sorry, you don't compute. You're not wanted. Not getting in. And the message you're giving yourself doesn't take root. It just doesn't happen. The old programming remains. The 88% is always more powerful than the 12%. So the smoking pattern continues. Your conscious mind may keep hammering away with that new idea, trying to make a smoke-free difference with all those positive affirmations, and who knows? It may take hold eventually. Then again, it may not. But what hypnosis does is bypass the critical mind filter altogether by opening a door that directly accesses the subconscious mind with its known associations. What happens next is a positive suggestion or a series of suggestions are given which immediately begin to modify the original program. Much like a computer programmer rewrites a software program with new code to alter the appearance or functionality of the old program. And this begins the change that you want. So what is hypnosis? Hypnosis is a focused state of awareness that relaxes you and allows me as a hypnotherapist to work on a subconscious level to help you make positive improvements in your life. Keep in mind, hypnosis is not mind control. You never surrender your will. In fact, while in hypnosis, you may open your eyes at any time, get up for a bathroom break, return, sit down, and be in hypnosis the whole time. You might even wonder if you're really hypnotized at all. Remember, you are in control, not the hypnotherapist. Hypnotherapy is really a cooperative effort. It's guided self-improvement behavior modification. So, we're a team. And as your hypnotherapist, I'll be working with the 88% while you continue to work with the 12%. And together our goal will be to reach a 100% success rate. And how I begin is by testing your suggestibility. And I do this with a suggestibility questionnaire, which tells me if you take in things more literally or by inference. And that helps me to know the types of words to use that resonate with your personality and with your subconscious mind. Hypnosis is really quite fun and feels wonderful. It's also effective and very safe. Shall we begin?